In addition to creating your visit frequency in your orders under your 485, there is also a visit frequency tab. If I edit my plan of care, I can take a look at my orders and view my patient's frequency. The visit frequency tab in the software keeps track of the HHRG, so if any visit templates were made in regards to an HHRG score, you can be warned if you're going over the template. We will cover that template in another lesson in regards to cost management. To add a visit frequency, simply click on Add, and you can view the orders from the 485 down here on the bottom. You can also view the 60-day episode period that's shaded, and you can select the charge by either using the drop-down list or by typing in the code. So based off of the frequency, it's saying for skilled nursing, the frequency is 1 visit every week for 9 weeks. So I will type in the charge, convert that information over to the frequency, which again is 1 visit every week for the duration of 9 weeks. You can also create a frequency for days, weeks, months, or quarters, and a duration for days, weeks, or PRN visits, which we will go over later. You would then select the starting week. You can also select a calendar pattern and a time of day pattern. I'll then click on Save to save my frequency, and click Add to add the second part of my frequency, which was home health aide visits. I'll then put in 2 visits every week for 9 weeks. Then click on Save, and save my 485 information. Now when I go to my patient scheduler, I can view the visit frequency on the bottom. Since we created the schedule in an earlier lesson, I will show you the warning that pops up once the frequency is entered in the visit frequency tab of your 485. I'll create another skilled nursing visit, and the program prompts me and lets me know that there will be 2 appointments for the discipline for this week, but only 1 was specified in the visit frequency for this week. I can click OK to add the appointment anyway, or click Cancel to stop scheduling. Now in the event the frequency may have a range, such as 2 to 3 visits a week for 9 weeks, you may wonder how that's reflected within the visit frequency tab. One way of doing so is within the visit frequency tab, you can click on Add, select the charge, and based off of our orders, we need to do at least 2 visits a week. So we can put in 2 visits every week for the duration of 9 weeks, starting on the first week. We will save that first part of the frequency, and to put in the range, we can actually click on Add, select the charge again, and since we're selecting the same charge and the program knows that there is a frequency for the first 9 weeks, it automatically selects the starting week on week 10, but we can go ahead and change that back to week 1 and cover the range of visits. So if we take a look at this range, we're allowed an extra visit a week for the amount of 9 weeks, which totals 9 visits. So what we can do to show this range is to put 9 visits every week and change the duration from 1 week to as needed, or PRN. So this lets the program know that you're allowed to schedule up to 9 visits within the episode period. And we would just click on Save to save our changes. So with any frequencies using visit ranges, the PRN, or as needed duration, can be used within the healthcare assistant software to keep note of those. Now that the visit frequency has been created and placed on the scheduler, agencies can keep track of this information using the healthcare assistant reports. Under Patient Reports, there is a report called the Visit Compliance Calendar by Certification. This gives agencies a calendar view of what is exactly on the scheduler per patient. This can be filtered by patient status, by insurance, or by individual patient. You can select a date filter for certification start date, certification end date, and also the exact certification start and end dates. Once the report has been printed out, it will show the entire certification period of that patient, along with how many visits per discipline have been scheduled on each day of the episode. The number of scheduled visits will show up in the top shaded area, while the number of completed visits will show up on the bottom area. If no visits have yet to be completed, the area will be blank. At the end of each week, users are shown a summary in regards to the disciplines and how many visits were scheduled for each week and how many visits were completed. If you notice with skilled nursing, there's a little asterisk. If you remember earlier within the visit frequency tutorial, we created PRN visits. Now on the bottom left here, the program lets you know that there are 9 visits for PRN. On the bottom right of the report, there is a total summary which shows you the total number of scheduled visits, the total number of posted or completed visits, total number of missed visits, and also the total number of visits within the visit frequency. There is also the visit compliance calendar by month. If we print this out for the month of July, year 2009, and click on print, it'll show us how many visits are scheduled, how many visits are posted, and also how many visits were marked as missed. And at the end, it'll give us a summary. There is also another report, if the visit frequency is being used, called the Visit Frequency Weekly Compliance Report. You can filter it out by patient, filter it out by date by either using this week, last week, or a custom week selected of your own. This report shows you the patient's name, their start of care date, the actual certification period, the type of discipline, how many is listed in the frequency, and how many is marked as done in the scheduler. And it also gives you a total number of any visits that are under or over in regards to the frequency and what has been posted to the scheduler.